They're in the gate. And they're off. Very fast report out of the gate, right to the front, opens up 2 lengths just like that. Side by side comes away in second. Riley G came away smoothly and is now second. Always Smiling is racing in between horses. Miss Monarch Bay asked for a little more speed, 3 lengths off the lead. At the back of the field are Sultry Kitten and Lisa's Nono Trails. It's Report to the half-mile pole, in hand, in command, by a length over Riley G in second. 2.5 more to Always Smiling and Miss Monarch Bay, followed by Side, Sultry Kitten, and Lisa's Nono at the back. 3 furlongs out. Report is the one to catch, leading by about a length and a half. Riley G set down, trying to close the gap in second. They're now 5 clear of Miss Monarch Bay. Always Smiling, passed at the rail by Side by Side. Side by Side takes third and is moving well with a 1/4 mile to go. It's Report and Riley G. Report hugs the rail and goes on by a length to Riley G. Side by Side continues to finish nicely in third. Report with an 1/8 mile to go, 2.5 length lead. Riley G. Side by Side moving into second. Report side by side. It's Report sharp from the moment the gate opened. Report at first asking a promising debut. Side by Side, Lisa's Nono, who was so far back, got into third. Riley G weakened to fourth in front of a battle between Sultry Kitten and Miss Monarch Bay. $925.20. Duty First to the outside. They're in the gate. And they're off. Tickle My Fancy breaks out very smoothly. Opens up 2 on Castle Knock in second. Sanger is now moving through on the inside to take the second spot, and Devil Moon is prominent as well. So it's Devil Moon along the rail, now quicker than both and up to take the lead. Sanger a joint second with Tickle My Fancy 3 deep, now third and about a length and a half off the pacemaker. Castle Knock between horses. Mr. Beams is down at the rail. And outside of them, Duty First. It's Devil Moon into the far turn, opening up to lead it by 2.5 lengths. Sanger called on in second. Tickle My Fancy now 3 off the pace in third. They're followed by Mr. Beams, Castle Knock in between horses, and Duty First outside of that pair. They have a 1/4 mile to go and Devil Moon to catch. Sanger within 3/4 of a length second. Devil Moon hugs the rail and goes on. Sanger in second. Center of the course, it's Tickle My Fancy. Mr. Beams is down at the rail. Castle Knock finishing with interest in between horses, a 16th to go. And it's Devil Moon trying to fend off Castle Knock. Devil Moon holding on to Castle Knock. And Devil Moon and Joe Bravo take them all the way. Castle Knock was second best. Tickle My Fancy and Sanger. Coming up next, it's the $200,000 guaranteed Grade 2 bet. They're in the gate. And they're off in the chandelier. Chattelis is very quick away from the gate, and so is Dua. Those two pull clear in the early stages. Just behind them, Autumn Chill is in third. Pacific Rose is down on the inside and a little bit eager as well, right behind the front runner as they move around the clubhouse turn. Gate to Paradise 3 deep with 3.5 lengths to make up, followed by Laurent, who's widest of all. Motet is just inside of hers, Scalable down at the rail, and Pink Whitney is at the back of the field. They move on to the backstretch behind Chattelis, who leads it by about a half a length. Over Dua in second. It's a length and a half back to Pacific Rose in third. And outside of her, Gate to Paradise now taking that third spot. Autumn Chill is fifth, 4 lengths off the lead. Laurent is comfortable just outside of hers, 7 lengths off the pace coming to the half-mile pole. Scalable, Motet between those two, and Pink Whitney has been at the back throughout. They move into the far turn, and it's Chattelis who's been the controlling speed. Tracked throughout by Dua, 3/4 back in second. Pacific Rose, Gate to Paradise still side by side. A hard-ridden Autumn Chill is in fifth, followed at the rail by Scalable. Laurent still with a lot of work to do and not responding as the field turns for home. And here's Dua on the outside on even terms with Chattelis. They come for home together. A good run from Pacific Rose in the center of the racetrack. Scalable making progress at the rail. There's an eighth of a mile to go. And Chattelis is digging in, fending off Dua thus far with a 16th to run, and in fact pulling away from her. And it's Chattelis to lead them all the way in the Chandelier under Antonio Fresu. Scalable came through to complete the exacta. Dua was third, followed by Pacific Rose, and Gate to Paradise finished fifth. The fourth race is the Speakeasy Stakes. Please note, we do have a special middle pick four that begins with this, the fourth race. Lancelot, April Vintage completes the line. They've loaded very quickly. They're in the gate, and they're off in the Speakeasy. Slider comes out very smoothly. April Vintage on the outside has speed. Lord Lancelot and Mysticism, those four vying for command with Bear River fifth, 3 lengths off the lead. Then Dark Vintage, Tranches next in the turquoise colors, racing outside Charge for Gold. Couple of lengths back to Dedois and 4 more to Always on K. Around the turn, and it is Slider in charge, leading 3/4 of a length to Mysticism in second. It's 2 more lengths back to Bear River, moving up on the outside third. At the rail, Dark Vintage. Lord Prancelot is wide, then Tranche there at the top of the stretch. And now hugging the rail on the inside is Dark Vintage to take the lead away from Slider. Slider blew the turn, but is coming back for more. 4 lengths back, April Vintage and Bear River, a 16th to go. Slider and Dark Vintage to the wire. Slider is just too strong. And Slider cruises home in the end to win it by 2. Dark Vintage gave him a scare. Then it's a 3-way photo for third, involving April Vintage, Dedois, and Always on K. They're in the gate. And they're off. Stolen Treasure and Pete's Old Fashioned are both out very alertly, but it is Stolen Treasure who's the quickest out of the gate. Wicked Facts is now coming through on the inside to challenge, and Red on Sunday is just off the pace, only a neck back as Pete's Old Fashioned comes through now to lead them. Harama is only 2 lengths off the lead, moving up on the far outside along with Stay on the Fence. That pair followed by Wicked Facts now losing ground. Halo Uncle is down at the rail. Magic Spoon, 8 lengths off the lead with the red cap and another 3 to Fact or Fiction. They move around the far turn, and the new leader is Harama, and Harama goes on with it, leads it by a length and a half suddenly over Pete's Old Fashioned with Stolen Treasure racing in between horses. Magic Spoon is trying to launch a very wide bid. They have to catch Harama in the final 1/8 of a mile. Harama 2.5 length lead. Magic Spoon continues with an eye-catching rally in the center of the racetrack. Stay on the Fence battling with Stolen Treasure. A 16th to go for Harama. Magic Spoon's really flying now, and Magic Spoon with a torrid stretch kick runs down Harama. Finishing third was Stay on the Fence. Then it was Stolen Treasure and Halo Uncle as first-time starters run 1-2. Grogu goes in. They're in the gate. And they're off. Rastaman Vibe is going out for the early lead. Stay Hot is close up in the early stages. Coach Prime rushing up on the outside now to take the third spot. Then it's Guy Named Joe, fourth in the early going, and Sandbagger is fifth. about 4 lengths off the early tempo as they move into the first turn. Dealer Special in the lime colors cuts the corner now to take the fourth position. They are followed by Ringtone racing on the inside of Lord Bullington, who's in between rivals and 7 or 8 lengths off the speed as they make their way onto the backstretch. Sandbagger just outside of that pair. Gap of 3 to the 2 trailers. Gorilla Boy is second to last, along with Grogu, and Tribal is behind that group, a length and a half in front of Ready to Stroll. They run past the half-mile pole, and Rastaman Vibe is the leader by about 2 lengths to Coach Prime in second. Then it's Stay Hot third. Down at the rail, Dealer Special with Guy Named Joe racing between horses. There's Sandbagger now, moving by that pair 3 deep and 6 lengths off the lead, though Dealer Special is now fending him off at this stage. Another 3 back to Lord Bullington, who's next, and Tribal splitting rivals while mounting a bid from behind. Rastaman Vibe is the leader. Coach Prime right to him. In the center of the course, Stay Hot is finishing strongly, and Stay Hot powers to the front with a furlong left to go. Behind them, Dealer Special and Guy Named Joe. It's Stay Hot, and Antonio Fresu is very hot right now. Stay Hot wins it by 3.5. Guy Named Joe was second, Coach Prime third, followed by Dealer Special, and then fifth between Lord Bullington and Tribal. They're all in line, and they're off. A nice start for Book Smart in the center of the racetrack going out for the lead. Trusty Rusty is up close in the early going, as is Saikon, who comes through now to take second. Elevado now third in front of Trusty Rusty, who's fourth and 4 lengths off the lead. Then Curly Isa right next to Brazenly. Those two have about 6 lengths to make up as they pass the half-mile pole. Another length and a half back to Camaraderie. At the back of the field are Chicken Finger Friday and Relaxed Artist. In front of that group, Egomania is about fifth at this stage, coming to the 3/8 pole. Where Booksmart is loose, and Bookstart is doing it smoothly on the front end, has a 3-length advantage over Elevado with Trusty Rusty in third. They're followed by Egomania in fourth. Then comes Saikon, Relaxed Artist, Red Cap on the outside, and then Brazenly. They're at the top of the stretch, and it's Bookstart in front by 3. Elevado is in second, but Booksmart has something left, plenty left, in fact, with a 4-length advantage. Trying to hold second is Elevado, then Egomania, belated rally from Relaxed Artist, who's trying his best, followed by Brazenly, a dominant score for Booksmart, and Giovanni Franco wrapped up in the end. Photo for second, Egomania is in that photo with Relaxed Artist and Elevado. Behind them, Brazenly. They're in the gate, and they're off in the Rodeo Drive. Didia broke out alertly, but it's Turner Loose who now comes very quickly, and Turner Loose will establish the pace, bearing out just a touch, crossing the dirt, but nonetheless in charge in the center of the course. Closing Remarks is in a good spot second, and she's followed by Stoic Luna as they pass the stands. Anisette is down at the rail in fourth. Didia is next. Juncture is the gray inside of her. Neige Blanche from the back of the field today. And Symphony Perfect is 8 lengths off front running Turner Loose, who has opened up a 4-length edge. Closing Remarks racing in second, followed by Stoic Luna in third. Then the two favorites, Anisette and Didia, are right next to one another. Another couple back to Juncture. The two trailers remain Neige Blanche and Symphony Perfect. They move on to the backstretch behind Turner Loose, who has a 3-length advantage. Stoic Luna puts her white blinkers into second, and Closing Remarks is down at the rail in third. Didia inching forward willingly fourth, 3 lengths off the lead. Anisette is under a strong hold down on the inside of Juncture, and Neige Blanche joins that pair, just 4 lengths off the lead. 2 more to Symphony Perfect with less than a half mile to go in the Rodeo Drive. And Stoic Luna has now taken the lead from Turner Loose, who's a neck back second. Didia in a good spot coming after them now third. Then Closing Remarks in fourth. Juncture is next. Neige Blanche right next to Anisette. Anisette moves through along the inside, now finding a spot between rivals. She'll have to chase down Didia as the field turns for home. Didia gets the jump on the outside. Stoic Luna Closing Remarks along the inside, and Anisette is cut loose between rivals. Juncture on the outside, but Didia has opened up a 2-length lead. Juncture and Anisette are both chasing. Didia, 1.5 close to home, powerful throughout, and Didia wins the Rodeo Drive with plenty left in the tank. Anisette fired, but was second best. Then it was Juncture in third. Neige Blanche and Closing Remarks battled it out for fourth.
Jockey Vincent Chemino, first time to California, first time at Santa Anita. It's a win and you're in. How are you feeling?
The Grade 1 American Pharaoh is up next. A Breeders' Cup win and you're in for the juvenile division. 20. Indispensable, BU, both in. Here's El Magnifico to the outside. They're in the gate. And they're off for the American Pharaoh, and Next Level had a bad stumble out of the gate and is last. Wind Me Up is very quick and takes command at once. Raging Torrent has speed, and Muth is down at the rail in third. El Magnifico in the red colors on the outside fourth, followed by BU. Down on the inside, Rothschild's a little bit eager, but 4 lengths off the speed. Next Level and Indispensable are at the back of the field together. And so it's Wind Me Up with 6 furlongs to go, leading by 3/4 of a length. El Magnifico, a joint second outside Raging Torrent, and Muth has settled kindly in fourth, 2 lengths off his stablemate as they head past the 5/8 pole. It's another 3 lengths back to BU outside Rothschild, Indispensable, and Next Level. They have a half mile left to go. And it's Wind Me Up, the controlling speed, 3/4 of a length to Raging Torrent in second. El Magnifico dropping right out of it. Muth is down at the rail in third, 2 lengths off the lead, coming to the 3/8 pole. BU is now called on in fourth, 3 lengths back to Rothschild, Next Level, and Indispensable. Wind Me Up comes to the quarter pole. Muth on the inside, BU is running a good race. Outside of them, Raging Torrent. They're a 1/4 mile from home, and Muth is coming on the outside of Wind Me Up. Wind Me Up and Muth square off at the 8th pole. They're head and head. Muth puts his head in front. Wind Me Up trying hard. 4 back to BU in third. A 16th to go. His name is Muth, and he's coming to the Breeders' Cup Juvenile in fine style. Rolling home by 4 over Wind Me Up. BU was third. Raging Torrent finished fourth. Post time for the 10th is in 21 minutes. New Pi Lambda is the last one to move in. They're in the gate. And they're off and kissed by fire as usual. Rockets right out of the gate. Secrets Told is flashing sharp speed, and these two have hooked up and sped 4 lengths clear already over Gem Mine in third. Down at the rail, it's Ragtime Rose racing in fourth, now about 6 lengths off the lead. Teen Drama and Alvina are right together. Alvina goes by her. Another 3 lengths back comes Real Fire, who's inching up. 2 clear of Miss Lizzie, New Pi Lambda, and Haley Levade is last. around the far turn, and Kissed by Fire opens up a length and a half on Secrets Told. Those two still going at a full pace, with Gem Mine now trying to pick up some pieces while saving ground in third. Alvina is fourth with 6 lengths to make up as the field turns for home. Kissed by Fire, 2.5 length lead. Gem Mine chasing gamely in second. In the center of the race course, Alvina is coming nicely. Outside of her, it's Real Fire, a 16th to go, and Kissed by Fire is just too fast. And Kissed by Fire and Mike Smith score by 3.5. Second went to Gem Mine. Real Fire was third, and then it was a 4-way battle for the rest, including Miss Lizzie, Haley Levade, Teen Drama, and Alvina.
Not only does the Great Race Place have a great 10-race card today, but of course we'll be the epicenter of horse racing the first weekend in November. The Breeders' Cup is coming to town. That means the world's best horses from around the world will be right here in Arcadia, California. Hi, everybody. My name is Tom Quigley. Seated alongside me today is one of the most esteemed clockers anywhere in North America. His opinion is valued by many, not only horse players, but trainers and owners and everybody else. His name, Toby Turrell. Toby, happy Sunday. Welcome to the seminar.
Dittos, Tom. Dittos.
What have you seen in the morning? Talk to us a little bit. Let's take this morning as an example. I don't know who worked this morning. You did. You've been up since the crack of dawn, if not earlier. Who maybe caught your eye going by on the main track?
Well, I'll tell you what. Yesterday actually was the day for the Breeders' Cup action. Today we had a light tab because yesterday was so busy. We have a 4-day race week that plays into it. But I'll tell you one thing for sure. The track is fast. That I can assure you.
And the hot weather probably contributes to that. We've been in the mid to high 90s all week, and typically that lends to a fast track. Do you think that's part of the reason why?
Yeah, I think that's a lot to do with it. And I think they're just doing a great job with the surface, honestly. I love the way horses are traveling over it.
You've been a big advocate of the track maintenance here at Santa Anita. We've done a fantastic job under close scrutiny, and certainly a tip of the hat to everybody involved. That is a 24-hour job.
Well, without any question. And, you know, the turf course also is so vital. And even though it's playing a certain way right now, I love the way it looks, too.
We saw Muth win the American Pharoah Stakes yesterday and perhaps become one of the most leading 2-year-olds contenders in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. What did you think of Muth coming into the race? Not so much his performance, but did you have any question whether he'd be able to get 2 turns?
None whatsoever. None whatsoever. This horse is a very strong horse. He's got a power to him, and his dad, Good Magic, holds a special place for me as a racehorse. I really believe that you're going to see a great stallion and a really nice horse here. You know, this horse was entered at Saratoga a few weeks ago and mysteriously scratched, but going into that race, can make a big announcement. I'm all in with daily racing form with my workouts, and I had a unbelievable workout on this horse going into Saratoga, and he ran to it yesterday.
Well, speaking of unbelievable workouts, Toby, maybe now that some of the Breeders' Cup contenders are shipping in, and I'm thinking of the Steve Asmussen barn, the Dickie Dutrow barn, maybe 1 or 2 horses, if any, that have caught your eye that are going to be participating in the Breeders' Cup Championship events.
Well, we just talked about Muth on the male side. On the female side, the way I really got hooked on doing this was all about the babies and watching the new talent come to the surface. And then, you just see that something extra in their presence more than anything. And Tamara for Richard Mandela, the Beholder offspring. This horse I knew was special, watching it train here at Santa Anita through the spring. The way she won her debut was you just don't see that too often.
Broke from the rail, rally wide, kind of motored late. Looked like she really wanted every part of 2 turns in that sprint debut.
And she's got a power about her that the key with her is just going to be getting tuned to the big mass and power she's got. And yesterday she served notice in a gigantic way. I had her in 45-4, and she just cruised up on the outside of another horse, just like something really special. So she's exciting.
Her Hall of Fame trainer, Richard Mandela, decided to skip the Chandelier yesterday, and we're seeing more and more of that, Toby. I talked about so many horses training up to the Breeders' Cup as opposed to running in these final prep races. Excuse me. What do you think the reason is for that? Is there a reason why more trainers are doing that?
Well, I think it's horse by horse at the end of the day. But, in the case of this filly, she was so explosive when she won at Del Mar. She was so explosive yesterday. I just don't think you want to have her explode again and then have the big race come up maybe at the wrong time. So I think they're just crossing all the T's to make sure that the big day is the big day.
Put you on the spot. Excuse me, got a frog in my throat. Put you on the spot and ask you maybe some unraced 2-year-olds. Excuse me. Need a drink of water on live TV. Maybe some unraced 2-year-olds that haven't made their debut yet. Just 1 or 2. Maybe it's from the Bob Baffert barn, the Neil Drysdale barn, the Doug O'Neill barn. Is there somebody kind of lurking in the weeds that obviously is not going to make the Breeders' Cup, but you're looking forward to not only their 2-year-old debut, but also their 3-year-old campaign?
Well, of course, it's out of the Bob Baffert barn. The horse's name is Nysos, Nysos. Very, very fast horse. And that's what you want right now. You want that speed. This horse had a gate drill where I just kept looking at the watch going, I can't believe this horse is going faster. It's going faster. It's going faster. So I think that when it counts first time out, you're going to see a big performance from that one.
Why don't more trainers copy the Bob Baffert method of training?
Well, it starts with the scouting of the horses. Without, it's the age-old thing you've heard out here. You have to have the athlete. They're top 10, top 20% athletes for a reason. His team that he's assembled over these decades are masters at finding the athletes. I mean, it's really begins there. If you watch the sales market, it is so hard to buy a horse. It's just that he's got it all rolling, and it's going to be awfully hard for somebody to crack into that team that he has, namely getting his hands on the horses first. And I'll tell you, Steve Asmussen, Brad Cox, they're starting to really gain a lot of steam outside of California. But here, it's going to take, I don't know, who can compete at this point.
Toby, I see most of the Baffert runners in the paddock, and it's amazing how much and how similar they look. Although they're different horses, they almost have the same body type. And you talked about him mastering the job at the sales. I think he looks for a specific type of horse rather than the pedigree. And if they fit that preconceived model, it's almost like in college basketball where you're looking for a point guard or a 7-foot center. If they fit physically that profile of his, I think that's when he kind of goes all in. That's just my speculation. Would you agree with kind of some of that assessment?
Well, first of all, when it comes down to it, he's got so much time in the day here as a trainer. I don't know how these trainers do it with these giant barns, but he's got a team of people that are leading him to the horses to kind of put the final decision on. I don't think nobody's got the time in the day to find these horses per se as a trainer. If they did, they wouldn't be too good doing their main job, I can assure you that. So he comes in to me and knows what he's looking at to put the hammer down, which is the key. And I'll tell you who I believe the master at it is, pound for pound, without any question in my mind, is Kenny McPeak. He has the team. He admits very openly that it's the team that he comes in and makes the final decisions, because that's got to do that, and that's the key to the whole thing. But the smart people, and don't kid yourself, Bob Baffert is very, very smart. He has listened and learned every day that he's been out here. I can attest to that because I was around him the first day he showed up, and he hasn't slowed down. He actually runs to the races now. You watch him. He was so excited to watch Muth run. He was running after the horse.
We don't need a team of people whenever we have Toby Turrell as our seminar guest. He's one of the most esteemed clockers anywhere in North America. We're going to find out who Toby likes on today's outstanding 10-race card. But before we do any of that, let's toss the microphone over to track announcer Frank Miramati and get the early scratches on today's Sunday's card here at Santa Anita.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Santa Anita Park, where the track is fast and the turf course is firm. The rail on the turf out 10 feet. Here are the early changes. In the first race, scratch numbers 12, 13, and 14, we do have a super high 5 carryover of $9,523. In the second, number 6, Mango Moon, will carry 1 pound over. In race 3, 5, Hot Dancing, 2 pounds over. Fourth race, we have another middle pick 4 today on races 4, 5, 6, and 7. The fifth starts the dollar pick 6. Traditional pick 6. No scratches or jockey changes. The grade 3 Zuma Beach is race 6. Scratch 5, Rothschild. You saw him yesterday. And this is also leg 1 of the all-turf pick 3. That's a new $3 wager. Race 7, scratch number 6, Storm the Night. Race 7, take out the 6. The 8th is the grade 3 Surfer Girl. Scratch 5, Lottery. In the 9th, scratch 3, Organic. And scratch number 6, Seahawk Mary. 3 and 6 are out of the 9th. And in the 10th race, scratch the also eligibles 12, 13, and 14. And there will be no lay 6 for number 10, Lottery Pick. Enjoy your day at the Great Race Place. And we would like to all give a shout out and a get well soon to our Jay Cohen fans. You have an opportunity to write a short note. We have a get well soon sign. It's located in the East Paddock Gardens, right across from Champions Gift Shop. We know you miss him. We're thankful to Rick Tyree, who's doing a great job. But we all miss our man, Jay Cohen. And if you'd like to send a little message to Jay, a get well soon, you could write a short note to this legend at the East Paddock Gardens across from Champions Gift Shop. Let's go back to Tom Quigley at Quigley's Corner for the seminar. He's with Toby Turrell.
Welcome back. We're talking to Toby Turrell. He is a clocker here in Southern California. You can find his work on a daily basis at the Daily Racing Form website. Also, he sells the winner's card on track and at all the simulcast facilities as well. Make sure you pick up one of those on a daily basis. It'll definitely improve your handicapping. A lot of ground to cover, Toby. So let's kick things off in race number 1, where we're sprinting 6 furlongs in the turf course. Race 1 begins the 50-cent early pick 5. We've also got a super high 5 carryover. Nobody hit it in yesterday's last race, so a $9,000 carryover. And this is a really good race. I in my opinion. It's for 2-year-old maiden special weights. The rails today on the turf course are at 10 feet. Scratch the also eligibles. 12, 13, and 14 will not compete. Also, number 9, Teddy's Triumph is a first-time gelding. The morning line favorite in the current betting choice at 2-1 is number 2, 8 Clap, the second-time starter from the Jeff Mullins barn. Jeff Mullins has a first-time starter in here, and if you look at his percentages, you'll see that he definitely does better with his maiden second-time starters than with his debut runners. Before we get your thoughts on the race, Toby, because there's 5 runners in this race that exit the same race, I wanted to show the replay back on August 24th at Del Mar. It was the 4th race. The 5 runners that exit that particular race that are running in today's first race: number 2, 8 Clap, number 5, Uncharted, number 9, Teddy's Triumph, and number 11, Gold Foot. 2 of those I want to have you pay attention to in the replay. The first one would be number 2, 8 Clap. He's going to break from the far outside post. He's going to wear saddle cloth number 10. You'll see him break sharply, drop back all the way to the back of the pack, and then make a late rally. That race was at 5 furlongs. Today's race is at 6. I think the extra distance is going to help him. And also watch the trip that number 11, Gold Foot, had in this particular replay that we're going to be watching. He is going to be wearing saddle cloth number 5. He's got a white cap. The jockey's wearing a white cap. And he had all sorts of trouble, and make sure you pay attention to his gallop out. Again, I think the extra distance is going to help him. So let's listen to Trevor Denman describe the action back on August 24th at Del Mar.
And away they go. Teddy's Triumph from the inside gate, very fast. Wild Recruit in the green right there. Charge for Gold in 3rd. Uncharted is now 3 off the leaders in 4th. Down at the rail, Stick Shift. They followed by And Ready for Rumble in the pink, now 6 off the leaders. Behind that comes Gold Foot looking for room down at the rail. And last of all is 8 Clap. Into the turn they go now. Teddy's Triumph down at the rail. Wild Recruit right up alongside. Charge for Gold comes after them 3rd. Stick Shift is at the rail, 4 lengths off these leaders. Uncharted on the far side, and then we come back to And Ready to Rumble and Gold Foot behind that, then Pharaoh's List. They are homeward bound, and Teddy's Triumph still the leader, but here comes Charge for Gold, and Charge for Gold catching him with each and every stride now. Late run from And Ready to Rumble, coming fast late. Charge for Gold, a big lead though, and he's going to get home. Charge for Gold, And Ready to Rumble. 8 10.
Toby, we saw 8 Clap there in the Little Red Feathers, so closed for 3rd. But as we watch the gallop out, take a look at this horse with the white cap that I mentioned, number 5. That's number 11 in today's race, Goldfoot. He never had a chance to run. You can see that on the replay. I encourage you to watch that replay many other times. But having looked at all that, you say, hold my beer. Let's take a look at the workout for number 1, Invincible, a second-time starter, I should say a third-time starter from the Doug O'Neill barn, adding blinkers today. And Invincible on this workout on September 30th worked alone. But there was something here that you wanted to show the audience.
Yes, actually, you know, it's hard to see the actual scope and size of the horses, I believe, on video. This horse is actually a very petite, very, very light-framed horse. And therefore, the cutback in the distance today and the blinkers going on to show that necessary speed are the winning moves, hopefully the winning factors for today. Now, this horse has nothing but desire, and that's what I loved about this horse. Not only in this work, the last 2 or 3 works, it's no fluke. This horse wants to run. This is a very racy little horse that just wants to run. And look at the desire. There's no movement from the rider. She's just stretching out with every inch of her frame. I love that. And look at the head low. The Connections paid $375,000 for this son of Uncle Mo. Certainly expectations are high. And they get Edwin Maldonado in the saddle. So I think you know what that means. Theft is on the agenda. You put Invincible on top, but if there is a danger to Invincible, you think it might be number 6, American Hope, a first-time starter, trained by Phil D'Amato and owned by Gary and Mary West. Yes, and this will be the second horse that Gary and Mary West have run at the meet. Good to see them back in Southern California. And they ran a horse on Friday in the last race, and one of these days down the road, make sure you show that trip note. This horse in particular has worked out more than enough, I believe, to be capable to win the race. Right on through the pattern. The last workout was with a winner named Clickish. Best of a team over a horse called Ever a Rebel, who's a very good older workhorse. The key workout for me, as far as being race ready, was at Del Mar on September 3rd, where he went head-to-head with Blister in the Sun. Now, the key there is Blister in the Sun ran lights out debut, ran a big second off of that work. So that horse was ready to run. I think this colt could be ready to run. At least that's what the workouts say coming in.
1-6 in race number 1. So says clocker Toby Turrell. Let's turn the page. Take a look at race number 2. Begins the 50-cent early pick 4. This race, we're sprinting 6 furlongs in the main track for fillies and mares. $16,000 claimers, non-winners of 2 races lifetime. A field of 6. Morning line favorite on the rail. Number 1, Mind and Refined from the Sean McCarthy barn. 8-5 according to John White. Blinkers off from Mind and Refined. How'd you see race 2, Toby?
Well, I think it's a 2-horse race, the 2 favorites, just like you see here. However, the 1 horse is very hard to trust. If you watch her maiden win, she was getting out badly. It was not pretty. That was at Los Alamitos. She's been very quirky and erratic in her workout since. I believe that's why they're dropping this horse. The 3-horse Cassia is the opposite as far as her mindset. She is just, I believe, learning what it's all about. She got some confidence over at Los Alamitos with a nice, easy win for Vladimir Serin, whose barn is very hot right now. So to me, all the factors line up for the 3 with a minor upset over the 1.
Race number 3, we're sprinting once again 6 furlongs in the main track. This race is for Calbred, maiden special weight, 2-year-old fillies, a field of 7. Number 2, Madison Ray, a second-time starter from the Peter Miller barn, is 9-5 on the morning line. 7 different ways you can go here, Toby. Which way you going?
Yeah, well, that's the way I'm going, is with Madison Ray, the 2-horse. I believe the extra distance is going to really help this filly. In fact, I think she'll run even further than 6 furlongs when all's said and done. If she can just get out there on the lead, I think that will be the key to victory here today. Get out near enough to the lead, I should say. I don't even think she'll need the lead per se. I think she's got that much of an advantage in the finish department over this field. So the debut was good. You watched the gallop out there. That proves everything I just said as far as watching her debut effort. This is, I think, a very soft spot. I like the sire here, Tom, Pavel. Out of a limited number of runners, they're all seeming to run and they're seeming to show speed. So this horse is great, just like her dad. And we'll see if she can make it a winning start today. Now, the other horse, the 5, is also now trained by Pete Miller. This is a private purchase, Hot Danzing. So that makes things kind of interesting here. Still waiting on that XB coverage from San Luis Ray Downs here to see that bullet, but we're still waiting. It says bullet, though, and it's Pete Miller with a private purchase. That's the second choice.
Race number 4 begins the 50-cent middle pick 4 on any 10 race cards during the autumn meet. Here at San Anita, San Anita will offer a 50-cent middle pick 4, and that begins in race number 4. We're going 2 turns on the turf course, 1 mile for fillies and mares. It's a starter allowance race, a field of 6. Brad Freese, play of the day from the Daily Racing Form, runs in here. Number 3, Tier Garden from the Steve Knapp barn. You agree with Brad, or are you looking elsewhere?
I agree with Brad here. This mare, you can see she won her last race, but she didn't only just win, she was loaded all the way in that. That was a powerful win visually indeed. Since then, she's got a very strong workout here on the 27th of September. I had her a lot faster than was given there. But the key is, again, not so much the time, but the visual. She was loaded there. So I think she's got the right style. I mentioned earlier the turf is playing a certain way, and there's no question you want to have speed or be close up, at least thus far in the meet. So I like everything about the 3. The 6-horse Irish Patsy, well, she's going to have to fight that bias. They shipped her all the way from Kentucky for this race, and for good reason. She fits very nicely. If things get soft down the lane, I think Irish Patsy will pick them up.
It's an interesting dilemma handicappers face, Toby, and you mentioned it in your analysis right now. At Del Mar, it seemed to be more of a closer-friendly type of turf course. Here, it's more speed-friendly. So we have to be careful as handicappers evaluating that Del Mar turf form because both track profiles couldn't be more polar opposite of each other.
Yep, different times of the year, we have to get this turf ready for this time of the year with the 100 degrees, and then we'll have it ready for the winter time. So we're in the speed time, I think, right now.
Race number 5 begins the new wager, the $1 pick 6. No more 20-cent rainbow pick 6 jackpot carryovers. That's in the rearview mirror, and the $1 pick 6 kicks off in race number 5. It's 1 mile on the main track for maiden special weights, a field of 7. Morning lane favorite number 3, Bad Sneaker, another runner taking the blinkers off from the red hot Mark Glatt barn. 13 starts here at the meet, 5 times in the winner's circle for the Glatt team. Talk to us about race 5, Toby.
Well, I'm hoping for an upset here with the one-horse Mixto. And several reasons why I like this colt. Number one, if you look at his running lines early on, just take a look at the company there. His debut, he ran 4th behind National Treasure and a little horse called Practical Move, who really needs no introduction after his comeback win. Cave Rock came next. And then to basically complete the trifecta, he has Fort Bragg and Practical Move in front of him in the subsequent maiden race. So that's awfully strong running lines there. Now, he's a very massive, big colt. I don't believe he wants to sprint. Therefore, I think they got the good, healthy race into him last time out. He was buried on the rail. Today, he gets the route. Hopefully, he gets plenty of time to get this big frame in motion and cause a little upset here. Now, you mentioned Mark Glatt with he's got bad sneakers in here. The situation here with this horse is it's very simple. If he gets the distance, he's going to be awfully hard to beat.
And Toby, we saw Mixto last time out on August 17th in the afternoon, but he's been working the Son of Good Magic, including a gate workout on September 17th, which went in 48 and change. That is Mixto on the outside in the team drill that we're watching. Why'd you want to show this workout?
Well, because it shows that they put him on his toes. First of all, he's twice as big as the horse he's working with there on the rail. That's a maiden that's a very lowly rated maiden. And this horse, this is a push button work. They're just keeping him idling on the outside of this horse early on. And then once we get to go time here on the turn, he's just going to accelerate, gain that big momentum that he'll have to gain today. Such a big, massive horse. He's really got to get into gear. And I think this gate drill is put him into gear. He got stronger with every eighth. He's going to widen here off the turn. And this was a half-mile work. He's going to gallop out here off the turn beautifully. Look at the way he just changed those leads automatically, and he's nice and composed there. So liked everything about the visual here.
Let's turn the page, take a look at race number 6. It's the first of 2 stakes races on today's card. It's the Grade 3 Zuma Beats. $200,000 guaranteed as the purse for 2-year-olds going 1 mile on the turf course. Also, race 6 begins the 50-cent late pick 5. And the other new wager, the $3 all turf pick 3. That comprises the final 3 races every day here at Santa Anita, starting today in race number 6. One program scratch of the 5 leaves us with a field of 8. Number 3, Endlessly, who's on a 2-race win streak so far in his career, is the 9-5 morning line favorite. But here's that factor we talked about. Endlessly's 2 victories so far in his career have come down on the Del Mar turf course. Now he's got to ship up here to Santa Anita. Talk to us about race 6, Toby.
Yeah, well, the horse, he's undefeated, and, the good ones seem to overcome everything and keep winning. That's what this colt will have to do today. However, I can tell you this. I happen to be live the day that he won that stake race, and I was up in the press box with a beautiful bird's eye view, and this horse was just full of run coming down the lane. And if he's that full of run again today, I think he'll win. The question, like you said, is he going to transfer that up here, different conditions and all? If he does, I think he wins. If he doesn't, I think his stablemate as a maiden is very sneaky here, the 2-horse, Naganu. This horse actually has a lot more speed, I believe, than he even showed in the race. And that would put him on a clear lead. A clear lead on this turf course can be dangerous. And at a big number, we'll take a look at the 2-horse as a possible upsetter there for Michael McCarthy.
Race number 7, we're sprinting 7 furlongs in the main track. We're also beginning the 50-cent late pick 4 to start our optional claiming race. We've got a field of 9 after the scratch of number 6, Storm the Night. The morning line favorite from the Steve Knapp barn is number 5, Midnight Fury, a lukewarm 7-2 morning line favorite. But we want to watch a workout for a horse we haven't seen in the afternoons for a few months. That would be number 9, Princip from the Mark Glatt barn. This particular team drill was on 9:23. That's Princip in the lead, but take a look at his workmate. That horse is heading toward the Breeders' Cup Sprint. His name is Dr. Shivel, also resides in the Mark Glatt barn. Talk to us about this workout, Toby.
Yeah, those are the key factors. Now, Ramon Vasquez, I believe, is on the leader here. Now, he is the target, 5 or 6 lengths. They were confident enough in Dr. Shivel to be 5 or 6 lengths better than this horse in this workout. Now, I don't think they planned on Princep going 59-1 pretty much under wraps. I don't think they planned on that, but that's what happened here, because just take a look. They're shoving Dr. Shivel. In fact, he's going to get a crack of the whip. The other horse hasn't moved. That is Ramon Vasquez, and he's sitting chilly in a beautiful 59-1 clocking there. So quite the finish this AM.
And Ramon Vasquez, unfortunately, doesn't get them out in the afternoon. It goes to our leading rider, Juan Hernandez. But Ramon does ride a runner in the race, number 2, Keen Air, who is claimed by Ruby Thomas and has been training up at Golden Gate. Interesting spot here. This is a really good race, Toby. I kind of like the looks of number 1, Hondo Crouch, as well. He's got every right to improve, stretching out to 7 furlongs. He's become a different horse since he's added Lasix 2 starts back. Is Princep your top pick, and who do you like maybe to challenge?
Actually, he's going to be my second choice. My top choice is right outside of him, the 10 horse, Hound's Tooth, a very lightly raced 6-year-old. But this here is, to me, what let's just call this my formulator play of the day. The last 2 races set this horse up beautifully to peak in today's race. The last time out, this horse was in the 13 post. He got caught between horses. And he just got going when the race was kind of over. He had a big gallop out. The race prior to that, he was on the rail. And he wound up taking up on heels, actually going for the lead to the far turn. So that tells me he could be in a beautiful tracking position here today with Abel Cedillo. And it's great to see Abel Cedillo come back strong after that scary injury down at Del Mar.
It sure is. Let's take a look at race number 8, the second stakes race on today's card. It's the Grade 3 Surfer Girl Stakes. Similar conditions as the Zuma Beach. It's 1 mile and turf course, except this race is for 2-year-old fillies. Big scratch the 5, leaves us with a field of 9. Number 2, Flattery from the Red Hot Pete Urton barn. I'm talking about Mark Glatt being 5 for 13 at the meet. Pete Urton's 5 for 11. They're tied at the top of the standing so far on day number, this would be day number 5 of the autumn meet. Flattery is 3-1 on the morning line. This is a really good race, Toby. I mean, the pick 6 is not going to be easy. Yesterday, I thought it would prove to be more difficult than the way it turned out, but on paper, these are challenging races.
Well, this one, I mean, I'm going to wind up on an X Factor. So that said, I'm going to get a big price, and that falls into the logic with the way you outline things there. I mean, that's how you get the big payoffs, and our races like this. So I think we got a very novel bet that should really take off, hopefully with a big payoff today. Number 4, Buttercream Babe. We just talked about Ramon Vasquez. He actually took the time to the tune of probably about 30 minutes a day, I would say, for 4 days in a row to come out and gallop this horse over the main track. I was very impressed with that in itself. They must really have some great hope for this horse to spring the upset. Mike Maker needs no introduction to anybody watching racing all over the country. Boy, can he win races on the turf like this. So this filly has the necessary speed, I believe, to go with the flow of the race. And the other horse that's going to wind up being my second choice, number 3, Dream Fire. You talk about speed. Well, she's got it and then some. So I'm hoping it's these 2 on the lead. Never looking back, as they say, with the upset of the 4 over the 3, Dream Fire.
Number 4, Buttercream Babe, has run 2 times, both times over the quirky Kentucky Downs turf course. So certainly that's an interesting ship out here to Southern California. She's Breeders' Cup nominated, as is number 3, Dream Fire, is Toby's second selection. You can see Dream Fire in her debut beat the boys up north, then came down and captured the Grade 3 Sorrento at Del Mar after breaking from the rail. Race number 9, we're back to sprinting. 6 furlongs on the main track for Calbred, fillies and mares. Non-winners of 1 other than. 2 scratches out of this race. Take out number 3 and number 6, leaves us with a field of 8. Number 8, Class Clown, who emerged who won very impressively, I should say, last time out for the Brian Coroner barn, is 3-1 on the morning line. Jose Valdivia in the saddle. Give us your thoughts on race 9, Toby.
Yeah, the 8-horse Class Clown is a very interesting filly here. Now, when she, this was going back almost a year, she really showed some brilliance working a half mile. And I took such note of it that I actually did some research on the horse and the sire. I even asked my dear friend Dottie and Gordo, I said, what do you know about Practical Joke? And at the time, nobody really had much impression at all. Well, fast forward. Now you have a monster in the winning a couple of days ago, and the stallion has caught wings. Well, this horse has a tremendous scope about her. I can see why they paid a lot of money for her. She's a very strong, very fast filly. I hope she shows it today. The turf race had me worried. It was so bad. But she, like you said, she won big at Los Al. Today, she's on the big track here. Today's her day to shine, I hope, with that brilliant speed that I know she's got. Now, I do really like the 2-horse Big Novel as well in this race. She did not have a good trip last time out at all. She does what I love to see, and that's come back and work razor sharp off of a race like that. 9 times out of 10, I'm going to pick Big Novel to win this race, but not today, because I think we have a special speed horse here with the 8-horse Class Clown.
Toby, my gambling friends at the track have a saying, which is always pay attention. And you made a very interesting point right now. You never know when you're going to see something that might apply down the road. You talked about how you saw Class Clown work impressively 6 months ago, and lo and behold, that comes into play today. You really have to pay attention if you want to take this game seriously each and every day.
Oh, no question. I'm not shy about it. It's pretty much all I do. And there's just no in between. I mean, if you want to get that cutting edge and really go for the long ball, you just have to put the time in.
But if you talk to Nick Saban, who's the Alabama football coach, I'm pretty sure he eats, sleeps, and breathes football as well. So it's just something you have to find that you love doing. We love doing the work that we do, and it doesn't even seem like work because we love it so much.
Nothing. My grandfather, I'm just a living legacy to my grandfather, and he instilled that in me at the age of 5 years old. So I'm just the most blessed person there is.
And the rest is history. We close out the day, but we don't close out the week in race number 10. That's because we've got special Holiday Monday racing tomorrow. That's right. We race on Monday. First post will be 1 o'clock. We have 9 races to offer you. But first things first, race number 10 today. We're going 1 1/8 on the turf course for allowance optional claiming types, non-winners of 1 other than. Scratch the also eligibles. 12, 13, and 14 will not compete. Number 2, Phosphorescence is a first-time gelding morning line favorite. A maiden who won his career debut. I should say, let me start over. I'm having a tough time today. Maltese Falcon won a graded stakes race in order to break his maiden, which is very impressive. That's not something you do or see every day. Leonard Powell certainly knows that he's got a talented horse. Now he drops out of graded stakes events to run in this non-winners of 1 race, and he is the 5-2 morning line favorite. Juan Hernandez lined up for a number of live mounts today, but this race isn't easy. So tell us who it's going to be.
Well, it is easy as far as him being the class of the race, and definitely the horse you would think you'd have to select. But it's not that easy, Tom, because of the fact that he is a one-dimensional late-running horse, and that is not the profile you want to go into right now. Now, it's 1 1/8, so that helps his cause, and he's got the meets leading rider up and all. But this is a race to me, again, to take a shot. That shot for me is going to be number 7, Reckless Spirit. And Phil D'Amato, Hector Barrios, great team here for this long shot. Go back to the running line on February 11th here, and you will see that this horse was finishing full of energy. But the big race on May 7th, this is the race I'm leaning on. This horse was very rank and had a ton of run. He was 7 wide and flew too late. But the key is, look at the second place finisher in that race, Balladeer. That horse just won the John Henry Grade 2 here, and that was his second win in a row. So that running line all of a sudden moves way up in value. Let's hope the value's here on number 7, Reckless Spirit, when it counts.
And number 3, Maltese Falcon, as you mentioned, is your second selection. And we offer a $1 super high-five wagering on the 10th and final race as well. Toby, thanks so much for carrying the team today. I'm sorry I had my tongue tied, but I'll work on that and hopefully improve tomorrow. Appreciate you always being on the seminar. You do a fantastic job. And if you liked Toby's analysis, make sure you follow him every day through the Daily Racing Form website. You can find his workout reports there. And as I mentioned in the opening, his winner's card selections is available on track. It's the best $5 you'll ever spend at the racetrack, that's for sure. Thanks so much, Toby. Thanks to all of you for watching as well. Next voice you hear will be track announcer Frank Miramati updating us with any late changes. Great card today, guys. Get involved, make some money, and we'll do it all again tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem.